Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. 9 days to go to AFCON 2023 in Cote d'Ivoire, and we've been looking at the chances of the Super Eagles. Let's not forget the camp for the team opened on Tuesday, and the camp has been at least the camp is filled up with quite let me say more than more than 10% of the players that were listed, and even the replaced players are already in camp and expecting a few of them. And they had their first training session yesterday, and they will continue that training session this morning, and then later in the evening in the United Arab Emirates. I will be welcoming you to the show properly. I have with me in the studio Oku David. Oku David, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV.
Yeah, many thanks, Emmanuel, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on 360 Sports.
Okay, and we also have Isaac Omidiji, who will be joining us via Zoom all the way from Niger State to do justice to all of the stories we have on the show. Okay, let's begin with this. Like I said, is a sporting year, and beginning with the AFCON, which we know that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be participating, but not too good news. So far so good. One is out, Ndidi is out, and replaced by Yusuf Al Hassan from Royal Antwerp of Belgium, who has been compared to N'Golo Kante. And now for Kelechi Iheanacho, he's hurrying the process of recovery just to join up and be part of the team. What's your take about it?
Yes, not a good sign for us. A big miss, massive miss in terms of Wilfred out. But the replacement has come in and is a good guy who steadied himself. That's Alassane Yusuf. He's good to go. And then Kelechi Iheanacho, the prognosis from Leicester is what I'm still waiting for. They are to determine if the injury is a high risk. If it's high risk, then it means he remains at Leicester. But if it's something of a touch and go, then he can be allowed to join up in the camp. So it's a difficult situation for the Super Eagles in that position, the midfield. Let me talk about it again because my eyes have been on there. I've been worried about it. 5 personnel invited, 1 out now in Didi. Yes, there's a replacement, but I still believe we need more bodies in the middle of the park. 25 players were invited, so it means Jose Pesiro still has the luxury of calling up 2 more players. Why not call up 2 guys who could come in and battle in the middle of the park? Because that's where, you know, competitions can be won and lost. The battle in the middle of the park, the grit, the ability to win 50-50, the ability to win knock-off balls, you know, loose balls, it's all needed, you know. And also the team needs providers, talking about the guys up front. If there's no ammunition coming to them, then they cannot score goals or be impactful in games.
Okay, they cannot score goal being in the games. Let's quickly go to Isaac Omidiji. We don't know if he's ready to join us. Okay, all right, he's not ready yet. But let's stay with the Super Eagles and look at their chances in the AFCON. Kelechi Iheanacho is out. Now, we know we have a lot of strikers up front. But if definitely Kelechi Iheanacho can't make it to the AFCON 2023, we know they can call up replacement for Kelechi Iheanacho, and that is why CAF in the first place allowed 27 players, and if there's an injured player, there's room for replacement. Do you think if Kelechi Iheanacho doesn't make it, we're going to miss his services up front?
Of course we'll miss his services. Kelechi is one guy that is telepathic up front, and the combination in and around with Moses Simon, Samuel Chukwueze, and even Victor Osimhen is there for all to see. You know, he can drop deep and play as a number 10, and his passes into the striker to finish off is always good. You saw him at the last AFCON in Cameroon, and he did so well, where we swept, you know, all and sundry in the group stages. Unfortunately, we lost out to Tunisia, so it will be a big loss for us. Who do I have in mind if Kelechi doesn't make it? I'm trying to think about that, but Jose Pesiro knows better. But my concern still remains the middle of the park. I think we need more than enough there, because injury like this, and then you're worrying. Well, thankfully, Ndidi is out even before the competition started. Yeah. What if the competition was ongoing and he got injured? He wouldn't.
Well, that means the whole team will be in disarray.
Yes. So we need bodies there. The Super Eagles squad look good. Yes, the defense is a mixture of, you know, old guards, you know, experienced veterans, and then the young guys in there. Then the midfield too. That's where we really lack, you know, somebody who can take the game by the scruff of the neck, in my opinion. Someone who can, you know, steady his mark, stamp his authority on the game. I think we're lacking that. But up front, yes, we have Wolves, we have Tigers up front. We have players who have a chance, can manufacture something for themselves, and bang, hit the back of the net. I just hope we start off well at the AFCON this time around like we did the last time out. And then when we need that element of luck, it should be on our side.
Okay, when we need that element of luck, it should be on our side. Still with the Super Eagles, let's quickly look at the players in camp right now who are in UAE. The camp is swelling up, and we have 22 players in camp, just expecting a few number of the players that are the likes of Samuel Chukwueze and co are still being expected. But let's quickly look at the players in camp right now. We have Musa, who is the team captain. We have Kenneth Omero. We have Simon. We have Ojo Enyiba, the only home-based player in that team. We have Alex Iwobi. We have Shemi Ajayi. We have Olaino. We have Bassi. Iwobi and Bassi were the early birds in camp. We have Ademola Lukman, who after Atlanta game, he had to leave for UAE. We have Joe Aribo, who got his first goal after 18 games just 2 weekends ago. Then we have Frank Onyeka there. We have Bruno Onyemechi. We have Chidozie Awazim. We have Zaidu Sanusi. We have Victor Boniface, Onyedika, Osai Bright. That's one of my best Super Eagles player right now, aside Victor Osimhen. We have Samuel Chukwueze, who is still being at this point in time, I think he should be in camp already. We have Wan Bailey, we have Francis Uzoho, and then we have Al Hassan, the player that is replacing Wilfred Ndidi, and we have Sadiq Omar. 22 players in camp already, and we are expecting others, but they had their first training session, and that training continues. You know, the time difference, the time zone from UAE and that of Nigeria is not the same thing. 6 a.m. and then they are going to have the second training in the evening by 6 p.m. In UAE time, not Nigerian time. But looking at the whole Super Eagles, this preparation, is it enough for them to win a record 4th time?
Well, you do not look at the preparations from now. I think it is the nucleus of the team is what we have to look at and trace it back to previous games they've had playing together. This bulk know themselves too much. They're experienced guys here. Some of the guys here have played in the last AFCON. The last time we won about 10 years ago, you know, we had Musa and Kenneth Omero. That experience, we expect them to bring that to the fore. Moses Simon, Samuel Chukwueze, Alex Iwobi, Victor Osimhen. They are all on the same wavelength in terms of the experience they've garnered. Yeah. Yes, Osimhen made his debut, who was at the AFCON in Egypt, and his first game when he came on for a stricken Igalo in Al Salam, I beg your pardon, stadium in Egypt in that 3rd place game. But since he has hit strides, you look at the under-17 team, the core is here. Osimhen, Chukwueze. We are
still expecting Kelechi Iheanacho.
Yes, Kelechi Iheanacho. So the team is good. Francis was a World Cup goalkeeper. He went to the World Cup in Russia.
Yes, 2018.
A lot of people have forgotten that. And then he's had, here and there performances. But this is an opportunity for him to see, okay, I'm here. I can rise up to the occasion. I can be the big man for the team. I can be the last line of defense and, pull my team out of trouble. Okay,
let's look at it this way. We're going to look at these two areas, Al Hassan, and then we're going to look at the new goalkeeper that has been invited, that is Sterling Nwabili from Chippa United. Now, first, let's start with the midfield, Al Hassan. Do you think he's going to, because he has not played with this team before, do you think, if you look at Wilfred Ndidi is a regular for the Super Eagles, and now that is a very key position, which Al Hassan, that means with the way things are standing, Al Hassan is going to start for the Super Eagles. But what are his chances? Do you think he's going to gel within the space of just 1 week plus with this team and understand the philosophy of the team?
Well, everything is not 2 + 2 or 1 + 1 or even mathematics. He can come in and gel, and play like he's been here for ages with the team, or another thing can happen. But let's keep fingers crossed. It's a gamble. Well, we have to take it. And I expect that when he's given the opportunity, he, bets in well, stay disciplined. Because the discipline is very important. Stays disciplined in there, soaks up the pressure, do the little tidying up, go about his business carefully. And I think the first game is very important for the Eagles. They need to win that one, you know, that first game under 14. Very important game to take 3 points, because the second one is against the host, Ivory Coast. So we need to get 3 points off the mark.
And then probably wait for Ivory Coast and see. And each time that Nigeria has played, avoid the defeat against Ivory Coast, we've gone to win the AFCON. In Tunisia, in 1980, we avoided them. We went on to win it. In Tunisia, in 1994, we defeated them, and we went on to win the AFCON. In 2013, we defeated them also 2-0. Victor Moses caught of one of those goals, and we went on to leave the AFCON. Do you think if we avoid defeat against Cote d'Ivoire this time around, we are going to lift it?
Well, that's a good omen. It's a good omen that for every time we've avoided defeat against the Elephants, we've gone on to win the competition. Well, I'm not looking too far away, you know, ahead of myself. And for the Eagles, all I need for them is to perform well in the group stages. They need to win the first game to, you know, let off the shackles and the pressure. Yes, and then the second one against the Ivorians, even a point will still be good enough for them. It will be good taking into the final game, you know, to play. And then we need to be, you know, wary of Group C, because that's where we will come up. If we finish first, it is good. We avoid some juggernauts. But if we finish second, then it means we will play either of Senegal or Cameroon. If they qualify. If they qualify, we're going to play either Senegal or Cameroon in the round of 16, and that's not what we want to do. Remind yourself that 3 teams can qualify from a group, depending, you know, where goals can be looked into, the number of goals you scored, and even discipline, you know, or best losers. So we're looking forward to seeing an exciting AFCON.
Okay, we are looking forward to that. All right, let's leave this Super Eagles and the AFCON story. Let's go straight to Zurich, where FIFA has released the nominees for the best team in the world for 2023, and we know, let's quickly look at the list. We have goalkeepers Thibaut Courtois, we have Edison of Manchester City and Brazil, we have Thibaut Courtois of Real Madrid, Belgium, Emiliano Martinez of Aston Villa and Argentina, and then for defenders we have Ruben Diaz, Manchester City and Portugal, Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool, Netherlands, Eder Militao, Real Madrid, Brazil, Antonio Rudiger, Real Madrid, Germany, John Stones of Manchester City, England, Caleb Walker of Manchester City and England. Let's look at the other sections of the team. Let's look at midfielders. We have Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid, England, Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City, Belgium, Ike Gundogan of Barcelona, Germany. We have Luka Modric, Real Madrid, Croatia, Rodri, Manchester City, Spain, Bernardo Silva, Manchester City, Portugal, Federico Valverde, Real Madrid and Uruguay. And now let's look at where the powerhouse is. We have Karim Benzema, Al Ittihad, France. We have Erling Haaland, Manchester City, Norway, Hurricane, Bayern Munich, England, Kylian Mbappe, PSG, France, Lionel Messi, Inter Miami, and then Argentina, Cristiano Ronaldo, Al Nassr and Portugal, and Vinicius Junior, Real Madrid and Brazil. I think this is a complete team. If this team is set up against any team in the world, what do you think will happen?
We go to war and experience a crushing defeat. but there's no Man United there, so that's telling.
Okay, there's no Man United
and Chelsea.
There, and Chelsea, that's actually telling, because these two teams are not doing well right now. And for CR7, as he scored, he has won the highest goal scorer for the year 2023 after amassing 54 goals, topping Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland to that award. Good one for a 38-year-old man who they say is finished.
Who said he was finished?
A lot of persons say he's finished.
Okay, some sections said he still got a lot to offer. Some said he's finished. Well, that's the beauty of life. Some people might agree with you, some might disagree. But we all know the manner in which Ronaldo had left Man United, you know, under such circumstances. Well, let's look at the brighter side, is that he's finished 2023 with that humongous amount of goals. He's banging the goals from left, right, and center. Something that even United themselves are lacking at this point in time. But he's a superb player, and he would always remain. Okay, he will always remain a superb player. For CR7, winner of the 2023 highest goal scorer in all of when it comes to FIFA, and that's a good one. Congratulations to him and Lionel Messi. They also made the FIFA team of the year 2023. That is the nominees, though they are going to streamline that team to 11 players, and then they will have their substitutes. So let's see those who will make it
the 11 team players and then the substitute. All right, let's quickly leave that story and go straight to La Liga, where there are actions last night in La Liga. We have fixtures, we have some games in La Liga. Let's look at the result. Granada 2-0 against Cadiz at home. They Celta Vigo also beat Real Betis 2-1, and for Real Madrid, for Antonio Rudiger, the man who was nominated among the FIFA Team of the Year, got the lone goal for them against Mallorca at the Santiago Bernabeu. And for Girona, it was a 7-goal thriller against Atletico Madrid. Both of them, Real Madrid and Girona, are the top of first and second in La Liga. Let's quickly look at the table. Let's see what that means for both teams. And for Real Madrid, they continue to remain at the top of the table with 48 points and 29 goal difference. For Girona, they also have 22 goal difference and 48 points. But for Atletico Madrid, they lost to Girona. They remain third with 38 points, while Barcelona on the fourth position with 38 points, but goal difference separating them. And with Atletico Madrid, we have the other Athletic Club Bilbao on the fifth position with 35 points, Real Sociedad on the sixth with 32 points, and then we have Getafe on the eighth position with 26 points. Las Palmas is on the 10th position with 25 points. Let's look at the flip side of the other table. We have Rayo on the 11th position with 23 points and -6 goal difference. Osasuna have 19 points, 12th position. Villarreal on the 13th position with 19 points and -11 goal difference. We have Mallorca on the 14th position and 18 points, and then Alaves is on the 15th position with 17 points. Almeria continues to remain at the bottom of the table with just 5 points and -23 goal difference. Is it that they don't have a tight defense? Well, they've conceded more than any other team. That means in every game they concede more than 2 goals.
Yeah, it's been a difficult return for Almeria back to the Spanish La Liga. Quite difficult for them. But let's look at the guys who are running away, and the fairy tale continuing with Girona de Montilivi beating Atletico by 4-3. Despite Alvaro Morata hitting a hat-trick, it wasn't enough. Girona stepped up the gas, and scored again to win that one. 4-3, 7-goal thriller in front of their home fans. What a team and what a race it's been. You could see how they've done this season. The goal difference is just about 7. They're separating themselves and Real Madrid, but they are on the same number of points. If it goes down to the wire like this, then head-to-head will count. Girona still got to play Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Real beat them earlier in the season 3-0 in Barcelona, but Girona will have to face Real Madrid away from home. I think this will go down to the wire because of the way Girona is playing. But let's look to see how the second half of the season will be for other teams. Already 10 points behind that. Atletico Madrid and Barcelona behind the top 2. I think that's a big gap at this stage.
Yes, that's a big gap at this stage. 40 games to go, and they've just played week 19, while some teams have already played 18 games. So let's see how it's going to end for Girona. Probably, even though they don't lift the La Liga title, we are sure, and in a way, though football sometimes is always funny, but with the way things are, they will play in the Champions League.
Of course, the first task is to avoid relegation, which they have. They've reached the 40-point mark and above.
So that is it. Okay, let's leave the La Liga and we will go straight to Italy, where there was cup game, that is the Coppa Italia games, and let's look at the results of games that were played in the Coppa Italia. Atlanta beat Sassuolo 3-1, and Roma at least came back to beat Cremonese 2-1 in that particular game. And for Atlanta, they were playing Juventus in the quarterfinal of the Coppa Italia. I think the other draws will be coming up, and then we'll know the teams that will be facing each other in the quarterfinals. But for Atlanta and Juve, they are going to meet in the quarterfinal of the Coppa Italia. Okay, let's leave Coppa Italia and quickly look at today's fixtures. There are games that will be coming up in La Liga, just 3. We have Osasuna will be at home against Almeria, who will be looking to add to the number of points. They have 5 points on the table and they are at the bottom. Sevilla will play the other Athletic club, that is Athletic Bilbao. They will be at the Pizjuan Stadium, that is Sevilla, to welcome Athletic Bilbao. And then Las Palmas we play Barcelona. Las Palmas, Barcelona. This team has always been a handful for Barcelona.
Yeah, tough game to look forward to at the Canaries Island level. We expect the home team to make it difficult, like you said, for Barcelona. Anytime Barcelona has come to town, they try to put themselves up, to compete. Barca themselves has been, neither here nor there this season. But looking forward to seeing if Robert Lewandowski can recapture a little bit of the form which he has lost for a while. Other players in and around him have tried their best this campaign, but it's Lewandowski who's not been hitting his usual high standards. And if he is able to find that spark, then Barcelona will be grooving, especially with small teams like this that have given them issues this season. Some of the games I've watched them play, they've had to come back from behind, some to draw, some to win. So it's been a tough season for them, but they've responded in the best possible way that they can by keeping themselves in contention. Like I said, 10 points, even at this stage of the season, it's still, big points because it's Real Madrid who's topping. But again, Barcelona, we cannot rule them out. And it starts from today against Las Palmas away from home.
Okay, start from today against Las Palmas at home. I don't know if Isaac Omidiji is ready quickly to react to the Super Eagles story. If he's ready, let's have it. But let's move on to this next story is transfer. Now, Manchester United is actually showing its very strong interest in Timo Werner, a former player of Chelsea, who came to Chelsea and didn't find his feet with Chelsea and went back to Germany with RB Leipzig. Also in Leipzig, not too fantastic, but this time around, Manchester United is showing very strong interest in this young man.
Couldn't find his feet at Chelsea, back to Leipzig now, cannot still recover his best form. Then it is the pressure of Manchester United that is lovable for him to come in now. This is the problem, and we talk about the scouting department or we talk about the director of football, and it's all shambles for Manchester United at the moment. Even when Ineos has taken over Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the sort of players United are still linked with. Yes, I know this is a promising player, still young, but this is a guy who burst onto the scene, was good, magical. But for Chelsea to let their investment in this guy go, it shows that there's a lot that we are not seeing, or there's a lot that is not being said of the guy. And then he's back to Leipzig now, still not recaptured that form. And now Manchester United is linked with him. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. If Isaac is there, quickly, let's have Isaac. Okay, he's not ready. All right, let's quickly look at this story. Then we'll just say one or two about AFCON because you will be there. Then we're going to ask you when you'll be going. But let's quickly look at this story. It's a fantastic good news for us, and he will still be in action later on today. For Aruna Kadri, fantastic one against Hugo Caladron, world number 5 in the WTT championship in Doha. He was able to beat this man 3-2. They've met twice, and Hugo had the last laugh in the two times they met. But yesterday evening in Doha, for Aruna Kadri, it was magical against Hugo.
Yeah, impressive win against Hugo. Impressive. I remember talking about Kadri, being a local champion. That's in quotes, meaning, yes, in Africa he shines, but when it comes up against guys from the international, sphere, he fails to live up to his billing. But I think he, heeded my advice to step it up a notch, and he knocked the bejesus out of Hugo there. Fantastic win for Aruna Kadri. Good one for him to move on to the next round, which I continue to wish him the best as he sets high standards.
Okay, as he sets a high standard, he will be facing world number 1 Fan Zhendong of China.
Wow, that's
after playing world number 5, now he will be playing world number 1. What do you think he should do to at least to get the better of this?
He just needs to stay in the game. He needs to stay in the game and look for a weak point where he can, get over, because trying to impose yourself too much might anger the Chinese. Just stay in the game.
Okay, just stay in the game. Quickly, David Oku, you will be going to Cote d'Ivoire. When are you leaving, and what? Because I know you have a lot of hopes, expectations. What are your expectations as you are going to Cote d'Ivoire for the AFCON?
Well, God willing, early next week should be in Abidjan, and then the expectation is that the Super Eagles, will do better than they did in Cameroon. They all spent their time in Garoua, in Cameroon, in the northern region, and they were out in a whimper in the round of 16. Well, we need luck on our side, and we need to also perform. We need discipline too. All of these ingredients, when you put them together, I think it encapsulates a formidable team who is ready, you know, to take games by the scruff of the neck, is ready to be together and win championship. I do not see that in us at the moment, but in competitions you might not know. Just get the first
grow
win.
into the game.
Yes, you might just grow into it. So I wish the Super Eagles the very best. We always wish them the best, as I am strongly behind them. Let's do it again.
Okay, let's do it again. That is the mantra out there for them. A song was released to that effect, and I believe you will bring back that song. All right, that is where we leave it on 360 Sports on Trust TV. Oku David, thanks for joining me on the show this lovely morning.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Many thanks for the opportunity. Thank you to the viewers too.
Okay, and sorry that Isaac Omidiji couldn't join us for the show, and in subsequent editions we will bring him on the show. He's a regular on the show, and that is it. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. Say thanks for watching.